Hello everybody, good morning and welcome to the United Stand. I'm Mark Goldbridge and this is your latest Manchester United news. Let's get into it. What is the Man United news now? Well, I'll tell you this. It's going off between Ruben Amorim and Gary Neville, also Roy Keane, and the mainstream. Man United being absolutely pelted because of the performance yesterday in the boring Manchester derby. Also, is Casemiro now staying? The latest on Sancho. Also a big week ahead for Manchester United. But so much to unpick from the game last night. Robotic, players need selling, embarrassing, not good enough. You know, all this stuff going on. And I've got to say, you know what? I stick by what I said yesterday. I stick by what I said. I mean, that Casemiro foul by Kovacic in the box becomes more of a penalty than any penalty I've seen this weekend. I don't know why that didn't get mentioned. But let me just start off by saying this. I just do not get where all this... Look, officiating in this country seems to be protected by the mainstream. Yesterday, it felt like it's a 0-0 draw between Man City, who are 5th, and Man United, who are 13th. But let's pile on to Manchester United. And what irritated me from certain United fans and certain ex-players and the media was how Man United got piled on, and yet we spent next to nothing in January and we're 13th. And yet Man City, who everybody's been licking the arse of Pep Guardiola for a decade, spent £150 million in January and are absolutely shite. But it's always Manchester United that people fly into. And there's a few things I want to unpick, because obviously Ruben Amorim was asked after the game about Gary Neville's criticism and basically said, you know, he's always negative. But I felt like yesterday's negativity from the mainstream, but also from some of our fans, was incredible. Absolutely incredible. Hello everybody, today's clip is supported by Sleeper. Before we dive in, let me tell you a bit more about Sleeper. This app is making serious waves. It was the #1 downloaded sports app in the US during the NFL season, even beating heavyweights such as ESPN and Yahoo. Sleeper isn't just popular, it's because they truly deliver the best fantasy experience. You get deeper customization, more league options, and all the bells and whistles that make managing your fantasy team a blast. But that's not all. Sleeper is growing a fantastic community with several million people using it daily for their sports fix. Sleeper has a broad appeal and is genuinely built for everyone. So, if you're looking to up your fantasy game, make sure to check out Sleeper by clicking the link in the video description. Trust me, you won't regret it. I mean, I look at that game this morning and I go, we defended well, we created lots of chances, and we've got a big game on Thursday. I actually think yesterday was one of our better performances at home this season. I mean, where was everybody for Bournemouth? Where was everybody for Palace? You know, where was everyone for Brighton when we got beaten at Old Trafford and absolutely took apart? And yet we're now saying, oh, yeah, that's just boring. That's just not good enough. I don't know what the expectations are of these people, because we are terrible this season, and yesterday's performance was actually one of our better ones. And ultimately, Ruben Amorim is doing this with Erik ten Hag's players. He hasn't even started his job yet. And we are improving. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. But sitting there on mainstream TV and going after Man United, I agree with Amorim. It's like, what are they moaning about? Maybe unpick Man City, because Pep's been building that team for years and it's falling apart. What are you talking about me and my team for? We're shit. We can't do anything till the summer, and we're working towards a game on Thursday, and we actually did okay. What are you having a pop at us for? And it just felt really scripted. It felt really boring. It felt really repetitive. I know Man United need to buy a lot of players. I know Man United aren't very good. But the way we got dismantled after the game yesterday by the media was just weird. Oh, Man United are boring. You know, games aren't like this anymore. And you know what? Actually, one thing I did agree with Gary Neville on, and I have to say this, the congratulations and hugs I'm seeing shown at by both teams that they're happy with a 0-0 draw. The best teams in Manchester United and Man City would be very disappointed at the end of this game, given the way they approached it. It was robotic. It wasn't good enough, and I'm disappointed. It's a Manchester derby, and there should be more blood and risk than this. I agree with Gary Neville on that. As a derby, that was a boring game. As a Man United fan, it was one of our better performances of the season in a bad season. Our responsibility is not to cater to Gary Neville, Roy Keane and the rest of the world. We are a club in crisis. We have been bloody dreadful this season, and Manchester derby or not, that's about as good as you're going to get from United. And I actually think going into a big game against Lyon, I was reasonably okay with the performance. It is not our job to go gung-ho and, start getting players sent off just so Gary Neville can go, oh, I like this. We're Manchester United. And can I also say, the hypocrisy is staring people in the face. I don't like the fact that players are in the tunnel shaking hands anymore. I don't like the fact that players are on the pitch hugging each other and everything like that. But this is the monster that the Premier League have created. You've got Man United fans being targeted and, slated this morning because they were chanting a song at Phil Foden. But then you've got Gary Neville saying he wants the blood and fire of a derby. You can't have both. You can't have both. You can't have fans singing songs at Foden, being ridiculed and probably going to face bans or something stupid like that, and then say, I want passion and fire in a derby. You can't. You've diluted football. And you media outlets have played into the hands. If Roy Keane and Patrick Vieira did what they did in the tunnel at Highbury now, they'd get a 6-month ban. Tell me I'm wrong. Football has been diluted. You're not going to get fire and blood in a derby anymore. You're going to get more and more hugs after the game, more and more hugs in the tunnel, because they've desensitised football. There is no aggression. There is no... it's all gone. The game is gone in that sense. I saw it the day that Thomas Tuchel and Conte in a Chelsea Spurs game shook hands a little bit too firmly and got a match ban. Don't start talking about, where's the blood and fire in a Manchester derby when the Premier League and the media and everybody else has basically diluted football over the last 10 years. You can't have it anymore. You're not allowed to tackle. You're not allowed to shoulder barge. You're not allowed to push. You're not allowed to grab someone's shirt. You're not allowed to shout at the referee. You're not allowed to do any of that anymore. You're not even allowed to chant at a player as he walks off now. Oh, that's not fair. I mean, look, honestly, I've seen the chants of the Man United fans and I've seen this all my life. And fine, ban them. Stop them doing that. Don't let football fans sing songs about rival players. Let's take that out of football as well. And then it really will be robotic. So, you know what? I just felt after the game yesterday, there was a lot of moaning about stuff we already knew. It's like I don't massively like Easter. I find the Easter eggs a bit boring. It's just a crap Christmas. It's just not that good. But when Easter hits in a couple of weeks, I'm not going to go, oh my God, I bloody hate Easter, because I won't be surprised. I've lived plenty of Easters. I know Easter's not my favourite, holiday. But that's what it felt like after the game yesterday. We are rubbish this season. We are absolutely rubbish. We've lost home games to people like Bournemouth and Crystal Palace. We drew against Man City. And we actually created chances and we actually defended well. Rubbish. They're rubbish. They're so robotic. They're rubbish. They're all hugging after the game. Look at them hugging after the game. Look at this. Look at the United fans singing songs about Phil Foden. That shouldn't be going on. Where's the passion, though? Where's the passion? I mean, you can't have your cake and eat it. You're moaning about stuff we already know. The game's gone. The passion's gone. One of my favourite memories was Arsenal-Man United's rivalry in the late 90s. It couldn't exist today. It couldn't exist today. Players would be sent off before they even got on the pitch. They've took that out of the game. So don't start moaning about players shaking hands before the game and hugging each other. I hate it. I absolutely hate it, but I'm not the one who changed the rules. Those pundits can't sit there moaning about it when they have been protecting the people in power for years. And I've heard them there going, you can't do that. Yeah, you can't put hands on another player. You can't do that. And then they want them to... Where's the blood and passion coming from if you're not going to allow people to tackle? You're not going to allow people to, get in each other's face. You're not going to get it back. So I think that's a complete and utter nonsense argument that, I don't want to see people, The passion's gone out of football. It has become very mercenary because that's the way the Premier League have made it. And this morning in the UK... they're going after United fans for singing songs at Phil Foden, and that's what Pep was talking about. Really, the question should have been, Pep, okay, all right, fans singing songs about Phil Foden, it's not great, but how's about your team's fucking shit, mate? How's about you spent £150 million in January and you're terrible? How's about, you're meant to be the best manager in the world and your team's shit? No, I want to talk about Phil Foden being sang about. Yeah, of course you bloody do. Of course you do. Anyway, back to Manchester United. Look, ultimately, I don't get it. Deal with our own problems. I don't get it. I don't get what the moaning is about our performance yesterday. I really don't. I can see United fans going, boring. Oh, it's so boring. Oh, is it really boring? Is it boring, is it? Okay, have you not looked at the league table? Have you not looked that we lost against Forest last week? Have you not looked at how many home games we played shit this season? And now you're bored with an effective result ahead of a massive game on Thursday. You're bored with the fact that we never looked like conceding and we should have finished some of our chances. That's boring, is it? Okay. So at what point did your brain start to think that we were going to play liquid football yesterday and beat Man City 3 or 4-0? Like, I don't see a problem with our performance yesterday. I really don't. I think it's naivety falling into the trap the media have set for you by going, what a boring game. It's not our job to entertain the rest of the world. It's our job to improve gradually with a team that doesn't suit our manager. He hasn't bought these players. They're not his team. The only players he's bought is a 20-year-old from Italy who's only been here 2 months. His job is to prepare us for the Europa League and try and get results with what he's got. And I think to that end, we were the better team. We didn't look like conceding, and we actually created a few penalty box chances. I would have took that before kick-off. Our job is not to entertain the masses. Our job is to try and survive, and that is what we're trying to do. I think that listening to some of the criticism yesterday, I get Amorim's frustration. I absolutely do. I think he's right to say, Gary Neville's always negative. I think he's absolutely right to do that. I mean, I think, some of the stuff that came out was just ridiculous as well. I think Neville said something like the front five aren't good enough. And started talking about people like Rashford. I mean, look, this one really caught my eye. I don't even... Why is this coming out after a game? He said, you could field 4 players that are not at Man United anymore. Alanga, Rashford, Welbeck and McTominay behind them. They would do a lot better than the current players as a front 4. Man United have let players go, and I'm not saying that they're the solution right now, but they've replaced them with players who weren't at the standard, with players who are not at that level. I mean, what is that even? If that's not playing to the Player FC masses, I've never heard such rubbish in all my life. What are you talking about Danny Welbeck for? He left 10 years ago, mate. Like, what has Danny Welbeck got to do with anything? What's that got to do with Amorim? What has that got to do with drawing in the Manchester derby? And what has that got to do with trying to be positive ahead of a massive game on Thursday? Danny bloody Welbeck. What are you talking about? Goldbridge, that's the end of the clip. I'm sure you enjoyed it. In fact, I bet that's the best clip you've ever watched. So there's no reason not to subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon so you never miss a clip again. In fact, smash a like on the video because we all know only legends like videos and you are all legends. So please smash a like on the video and we will see you again on the next one. Thank you very much for watching as always.